So we're working on a 2001 GMC Sierra 2500 HD pickup truck. The problem we have is the air is not operating correctly. It's stuck in defrost mode. It won't go to feet, won't go to upper air. And so I did some research online and found out that it's the mode door actuator, not the blend door actuator, but the mode door actuator. Looked for some YouTube videos, really can't find anything that's really good to show what's going on to do a replacement for this mode door actuator. And so I decided to do this video. As you can see, again, it's 2001 GMC 2500. This should work for most pickup trucks. This video should work for most GM Chevrolet trucks, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons around the same year model. Let me show you a few tricks that I figured out along the way. First of all, let's see if you can see the part. That's the part right there, the actuator, right here. It's got two screws that hold it on. And to get access, I did a couple of things. First off, you couldn't really get up in there because if you see here, there's a bracket, and it's a hard bracket that's in the way, this thing. And there's a screw right here, right there where my finger's at. So you'll want to get you an extension or some kind of U-joint. I had a little, if you see there, little right angle socket that I used here. It's 5.5 millimeter socket, and I stuck it up in there again, right there, and took that screw out. And I had to do it slowly, just a little bit at a time. The other screw, see if we can get a shot of it. Give me a second to get this positioned like it needs to be. Is right there. See my finger? Right there. And it's pretty easy to get to. Okay. But let me show you what I had to do. I had to take this duct that goes from here to here off. It goes from right here over to here. Let me show you what that duct looks like. It's up here on the dash. Just a little duct here. Had to take that off. I went ahead and I popped off the upper dash piece here. It goes across. Okay. And that gained access to this piece here. And I think you should take this off every time. Because you can see right through there your actuator and your screws. And up until I took that panel off, you could not see the screws to take them off. So you would have to do it by feel, which can be done, but it's a little bit more challenging. So I took this off. There's a couple of screws. It pops out here and here. And then there's a screw here and a screw here. Right there. Right there. Okay. And it gained you access to look up in there and see that actuator. Now, something else to note is when you take that actuator out, there's a plate that slides. I'll see if I can get a picture of it. It's this plate right here behind the actuator. And what I found was that plate comes out, okay? And it has to be timed just right when you put that actuator on. If not, the actuator won't work correctly. Okay? So let me tell you what I did on that. Okay, when I was replacing that actuator, I got the actuator out and the plate on the backside came with it. Takes a little bit of work, but you could get it out of there. I think that's probably the easiest way because I could not take the actuator off that plate without removing the plate with it. It was stuck on there too hard. Once I got it out in front of me, laying in my lap, I was able just to pull it off. But up under there it's nearly impossible. Okay. The key to putting this thing back into the truck was that actuator is timed and it only goes through 2 dots. One thing key is you do not want to plug that actuator in and then operate it, because it will go past its reference point and it'll be no good. You won't be able to, it won't be timed with your air conditioning. So what I did was I didn't plug the actuator in at all. What I did was I wanted to know where that plate needed to be in order to put the actuator on and into the screw holes. What I found was when you get the part, the actuator part, it comes lined in the middle of where the mode door should be. If you look on here, on the middle is your feet, okay? So I turn the key on like this and I ran AC. And you'll want to do this to verify that that's where the air was coming out, okay? Again, the actuator was not plugged in. I just was checking to see where the air was coming out. It was at the feet, okay? That just so happened coincided with where the actuator needed to be mounted, okay? And when you get the actuator, you do not want to adjust the actuator to where that plate is. You want to adjust the plate to where the actuator is. Mine was on feet, okay? So I turned it back off, realized that, and I went down here and I put that plate in where it needed to be according to feet. And then I lined up this actuator to the peg hole that's right here and just shoved it on as hard as I could, okay? And it was just in line with where the screws needed to be. I tightened the screws down, okay? And then I plugged this wire harness back in. Then I came back out put my keys in the ignition, turn the keys on, and then I started going through my settings. And as you can see, maybe just trust me, I've got air now blowing in all the modes that it should be. I hope this video helped somebody. Again, just to recap, I took this panel off, that panel, well, this panel first, then this panel, that side panel, so I could see down in here at the actuator. One other thing, I took a screw loose on this duct and it dropped down enough room to get your hands up in there and do the work you need. Hopefully this video helps somebody. It's a little bit harder fix for the average Joe. If you don't work on cars, I think you should be able to do it. But take your time, make sure that plate's where it needs to be before you put that actuator on and put it in the right place. Hopefully with this video, and maybe you can watch a couple other videos maybe, or look at some forums, you'll figure out how to do this job.